Never before have we seen so many world records and personal best from athletes in an Olympic year. The athletics archive will remind us that most of the best performances are usually reserved for the Olympic finals. Despite these astounding performances, I fully expected the best performances trend to continue at these Olympic Games. The reasons are that most athletes are in optimal condition, physically and psychologically. And being an Olympic champion is the holy grail, the apex of sprinting achievement. When 8 or 9 athletes face the starter in a final, the same is the best there is in the world. This will invariably elicit even greater performances. In less than 2 weeks, will be the commencement of the Paris Olympics. Could this be one of the greatest Olympics yet for sprinting? Particularly in one event. Tokyo, Japan, 2021. Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone. This was a historic moment, an outstanding athlete. Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone became one of 2 women to go below the 52 seconds barrier in the 400 meters hurdles, winning by clocking a time of 51.46 seconds. With Dalila Muhammad finishing second, clocking a time of 51.58 seconds. Both Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone and Dalila Muhammad broke the previous mark of 52.16 seconds. July 2022, Hayward Field, Eugene, Oregon. Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone rewrote the record book. This time she stood alone as the only woman to go below the 51 seconds barrier, clocking a time of 50.68 seconds. Her race was arguably one of the greatest performances at a World Championship Games by any athletes.
McLaughlin's gone storming past Dalila Muhammad. Femke Bol trying to get in the mix for a podium finish. But this is about McLaughlin, and it's about the clock. Remember, they are the 3 fastest we've ever seen, and McLaughlin is in front by miles. Watch the clock. 51.41 is the world record. This is utterly staggering. Take a moment to savor this. We're watching a once-in-a-generation athlete performing at the peak of her powers, and it is a new world record!
This truly was a stupendous performance. This time seemed out of reach of any athletes who at the time were running this race. A few weeks ago, again in Hayward Field, Eugene, Oregon, again she rewrote the record book, this time clocking a time of 50.65 seconds. This surely now, if it wasn't so already, puts her in a league of her own. Or is it? Going back to 2023, McLaughlin-Levrone competed sparingly before announcing her decision to withdraw from the World Athletics Championships in Budapest due to a minor knee issue. During this time, we saw the emergence of another outstanding athlete. July 2023. The Olympic Stadium, London. Femke Bol became the 3rd athlete to go below the 52-second barrier.
Such a big chance for Bol. There are so many Dutch in the stadium. They're on their feet. Cockrell on the outside, Shamir Little's trying to close, but Bol is away and clear here. She fell on the first night, but like the great champion she is.
She won this event clocking a time of 51.45 seconds. July 14, 2024. Femke Bol shattered her European 400 meters hurdles record at the Resist Sprint meeting in La Chaux-de-Fonds in Switzerland, becoming just the 2nd athlete in history to break the 51 seconds barrier, clocking a time of 50.95 seconds.
The moment, but Femke Bol turns for home, approaches this last barrier. Femke Bol by a street. It is at Ikoya and Fullaronzo battling for second, but how quick can Femke Bol go in La Chaux-de-Fonds? It's fast, it's very fast.
This is a huge chunk taken off her personal best. Femke Bol is now only just 0.3 of a second away from Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone's once seemingly untouchable record. Could we see this time decrease even further in a few days? On the 20th of July, Femke Bol will return to the scene of one of her greatest performances, as London hosts the last fixture before the Olympic Games in Paris. This would certainly give her a psychological advantage. She was unbeaten in her specialist event, the 400 meters hurdles, throughout 2023. Although both athletes did not face each other in 2023. Both athletes have only raced each other twice so far. Their first battle came at the Tokyo Olympics finals, where McLaughlin-Levrone stormed to gold. Femke Bol had to settle for bronze, half a second behind her. The second time they faced each other was at the 2022 Eugene World Championships, racing at the Hayward Field track, where McLaughlin-Levrone rewrote the record book. Could we see an improved time in this race, which would essentially make what is already a mouth-watering clash even more salivating for fans and athletics enthusiasts?